Hey, I'm Sahar, and if you are new to my content, so things have changed. Earlier, I was sharing general information about whatever I have learned or what can help people, but they were very generic. And after I went through my 21 days of solitude and meditation process, which actually I do every now and then, probably every 6 months, I have this silence period, and I go to do my self work, to pay attention to who I am becoming, how much more potential I have, how can I contribute more. And this time it was very specific, so I now would be covering every topic in very much detail, and I hope this will really serve you. This is for those who cannot reach me in person for whatever limitation they have, and my intention is to really help everyone to be able to do their own self-work and not be dependent on therapists and coaches like me, as much as it is possible for me to teach. So I wanted to delve into the topic of how your gift was shut, because I promised in my previous video that this is what I'm going to do. However, I have to follow the guidance of, let's say, the source, my higher self, through my meditation. And I've been asked to explain to you, first of all, why did you choose this life? And why did you choose this particular set of parents? Because I think the whole of inner child starts with you landing in the womb of the mother, and then everything from there kind of goes for a toss. I don't want to scare you, but this is actually in almost 99.99% cases. So let's get into it. From now on, I've made a promise to myself that I will not tell what I'm going to cover in the next video, because I genuinely don't know what is going to show up. I have to follow the guidance, and I have to go as per what I'm being asked to share. So, and disclaimer, if you don't believe in what I'm saying, don't waste your time arguing with me. It genuinely doesn't matter to me. You can always go find something which serves you better, probably a TikTok video or whatever that is. But don't sit here and argue with me. Listen to it. You don't like it, it doesn't resonate with your hearts, if you think it is nonsense, just drop it and go. And I would be more than happy if you do that. But don't sit here, torture yourself watching the video to just building up things inside of you that how bad this is. You can always drop it. So let's get that out of the way. Every soul, before reincarnating, you may not believe in the idea of reincarnation, so let's say before its birth, has a set of guides. It can be anything from 3 to 12 guides, depending on what the soul's journey is all about, what is the purpose of the soul, how the source wants the soul to actually express the divinity, and what is the potential of the soul for growth. And the potential for growth is chosen by the soul. So when we say destiny and free will, we have a destiny, but that's a destiny that we are choosing for ourselves. We are writing that destiny breath to breath. And then we also have free will, which means we can choose differently at any point of time, if we understand that every choice that we are making now will have a different consequence, and our whole cycle can change. Maybe a cycle will remain incomplete. When I say cycle, means the lessons you have learned. Let's say you had to learn a lesson of compassion, and now you have decided, oh, this is too tough, I can't go through this, and I can't learn compassion in this lifetime. Let me go and learn authenticity. So now, because you're making a different choice, then the entire consequences and the events and the situations and the things that have to, all the entire energy system of the cosmos that has to help you to bring you to this lesson now will change, and obviously you will feel drastic changes in life. So I will explain destiny versus free will in another video, hopefully sometime soon, but let's understand this before I want to really delve into inner child. So out of every 10,000 soul that applies to come to the school of earth, and we are one such earth, there may be many other earths, one soul is chosen. Then this soul sits with the council of advisors or guides, and then goes through all the past lives before, whatever it has achieved, what is its potential, what is its frequency at the moment, what does it want to achieve now, what are the lessons it wants to cover, what incomplete cycles need to be completed, what patterns needs to be broken, what does the lineage need from this soul, and a lot of other things. So they sit together, they decide a plan, and then usually they are given some trigger points, you know, so that the soul remembers whenever it goes wrong, that how do I get back on track. So those would be the situation people who will make life very difficult, and they're trying to push you and tell you this is something you haven't done, you haven't completed, please go there, pay attention. Once this finishes, then you will you really face not face, but you will come to a space of peace and grace. So these would be the people, and you will also have supporters on the other side and also on this side. And then you're supposed to choose a set of parents. So now realize that even though the parents are allowing you to come to their space, and even though they want to have a child, it is not necessary they wanted you. You chose them. Why? Because your mother has to be matching your frequency of the depth of the soul, the intelligence, and all the lessons, whether incomplete or complete, that the soul has undertaken so far. So that soul has to be strong enough and completely matching your frequency in whichever way, good, bad, ugly, so that you can actually merge into her body. You have to, your frequencies have to be so matched that you can actually land in her womb. And then you look for a father in combination with this mother who can actually help you to reach your highest potential. So if we have to talk about, let's say an ocean, let's say life is an ocean, and you want to come into this ocean and you need to know how to sail through. So the mother is the depth of the ocean, that if in case something goes wrong, how deep you can go and how nicely you can bounce back. And the father will tell you how high your tide can go. So what is your ability to, go above. So basically the mother is giving you the intelligence, the depth, the totality of life, because she's also feminine and she's actually imbibing the whole of life, the whole of existence. She's very wholesome. She has to have all those qualities that you need as an environment so that it is conducive to your growth of the soul. The father determines, the father's past life journey, the capacity of the soul, and whatever he has gone through determines how fast, how strong, and how high you can go as a soul. So you choose this set of parents and then you come. Now if you imagine you've chosen someone with your intelligence level, and then you have chosen someone with your highest potential level, and now you're a combination of these two. So you would be a lot more than your parents. However, this is a potential. This is something you have within. This is the seed. You need to be able to now water the seed, use everything within the environment, good, bad, ugly, to make sure you achieve what you have come for, choosing these parents. Now, as children, we come, and as per society norms, we are supposed to receive protection, nurturing, love, care from the parents. However, depending on what is our lesson, we may have chosen parents who will deprive us from all this, because we eventually want to stand up on our own feet and learn how to love ourselves, learn to how to be a better human being, learn how to raise our own and everyone else's consciousness. So even though the situation may still look ugly and difficult and their presence is not really conducive to your growth at a physical level, but at a soul level, you've chosen them because of all that they are and all that they are not. They will give you that environment for growth so that you can actually find your way and you can find your destiny and you can follow your journey, what your soul has chosen. Now, if we understand this concept, it is easier to dive into the inner child, because when people get into inner child initially, there's a lot of issues that show up about parents. They feel neglected, they feel this happened to me, and the victimization happens, start becoming stronger. They already have it, but it becomes a stronger, and a sense of judgment towards parents. We need to understand that you actually are bigger in the terms of your consciousness, your intelligence, and your potential for growth than both your parents together. Okay? So now, if I am the bigger, even though I look smaller, I am supposed to give them love. I am supposed to understand their limitations. I'm supposed to understand from where their pain is coming. And I'm supposed to understand what caused them to do what they did to me. And turn around and say, don't worry. You've gone through trauma. You also gave it to me. But together we can heal this and we can free ourselves from this pain and trauma and these incomplete cycles and repeated patterns and pains and heartaches and betrayals and shame and regret and everything. We don't have to sit and talk to them and say it. If we can, it would be nice. But energetically, we must understand this. I was guided to share this information with you before we really go deep into inner child, because we want to work with the inner child from a space of non-judgment. We don't want to get into, especially I am not available to you personally, and this would be so far the medium that I would be communicating. So of course it is very different from when you do a one-to-one session. So let's start from the very basic and understand why we are choosing parents, what is our role, and how we can help ourselves and them by a deeper understanding of why this connection and why this relationship to begin with came into existence. Hold on to this information, go over it again and again, and then hopefully when it is time, I will start with the processes. Till the next time, take care and stay blessed.